Hello and welcome to the Circular Economy Show from the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. I'm Pippa, and in this episode, we're exploring the role of collaboration in scaling a circular economy. We'll hear how two brands with a long history of repair and reuse have worked together to create a sellout product, Coach's Soho bag, and we'll find out what they learnt along the way. I'm delighted to welcome Megan Dawson-Elli, Product Sustainability Manager at Tapestry, and Steven Bethell, co-founder of Bank and Vogue. Welcome both. Megan, if we can start with you, can you tell us a little bit about what Tapestry is and how Coach's background in circular economy evolved?
Absolutely. So Tapestry is the parent company of Coach, Kate Spade, and Stuart Weitzman, three iconic houses. And Coach has been offering in-house repair and leather care for over 30 years. So like you said, it's been a long history. And in the past few years, we've been offering more services as well. Our Coach runway collections have been repurposing and reimagining already existing materials for several seasons now. And then in 2021, we launched Coach Reloved, a resale platform with 4 categories: restored, vintage, remade, and upcrafted. And in 2023, we launched Coachtopia, a sub-brand fully focused on the journey of circularity.
Great. And Steven, tell us a bit about what Bank and Vogue does.
Yeah, so Bank and Vogue is a family of companies. We focus on the secondhand clothing trade. So our parent company, Bank and Vogue, buys and sells containers of used clothes. We do that at scale. We sell about 4 million garments a week that we buy from charity leftovers from charity shops and private collectors in the United States and Canada. We also have a chain of retail stores in the UK, Sweden, and Finland, which trade under Beyond Retro. And we have an upcycling division where if we can't resell something and we can't repair it, the idea was, could we cut it up and make it an input to new manufacturing? And the fourth silo of our business is that if we can't resell something and we can't repair it, if we can't remanufacture it, can we sort it for the input to fiber-to-fiber recycling? So the happy place that we operate in is within the secondhand clothing trade.
And I believe this collaboration started with a meeting that you had. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, it was actually, as we're doing this podcast with the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, I think it just reminds us that getting out and going and doing these sorts of podcasts, we were at the Innovation Forum and we're talking about our collaboration with Converse. And amazingly, one of the team from Tapestry, who was at that time stationed in Hong Kong, said, "Hey, this might be something for Tapestry," and then got us a meeting with Stuart Favors, who's the creative director. And it was just an amazing moment because we walked in and showed some of the upcycled work that we've done, and introduced ourselves as having stores in Beyond Retro. Stuart said, "Stop. I know who Beyond Retro is. I shop at the store all the time," which was a moment to my heart, obviously. But this idea that we had just sort of come along in a moment in history and had been upcycling for 10 years at that point in time, it was a perfect moment at the perfect time.
And Megan, tell us a bit about the product that you landed on with Bank and Vogue, this handbag.
Absolutely. So we launched the Soho handbag this past spring, and it is taking post-consumer denim from BVH, cutting that into panels, and then using those panels for the bag shell or outer side of the bag. We call this repurposing. And I think to echo Steven, when we got together and met with BVH, it felt like the perfect next step, that we had been doing this on our own in our runway collections and in Coach Reloved for several years. So it was exciting to partner with someone externally to be able to bring this product to fruition.
And can you talk a little bit about the process of bringing it to fruition? And maybe, Steven, you can jump in with, I know you've talked when we've discussed this before recording about how the material available influenced the design. But maybe, Megan, if we start with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, this was our first time repurposing with a supply chain partner at scale, which is so different than sourcing recycled materials or other environmentally preferred materials because there's still standardization with those, right? You go to a mill, you say, this is the material that I want, and they make it specifically for you. With this new process, working with BVH, the Tapestry ESG team and compliance teams really had to work together to create a new checklist for using post-consumer materials and making sure that we have all teams involved in order to greenlight this project. We had to definitely bucket in a lot of time to go through different things like labeling, testing, material composition, marketing claims, and make sure we were all comfortable and on the same page.
And Steven, when a brand like Coach comes to you and talks about developing a product like this, what do you present to them? What does that actually look like with this material supply?
I think what's really exciting about having 25 years history of being in the stream of product coming by, we have a knowledge about what's available. And what's really fun about being able to sit with the Coach design team, our superpower is being able to pull the sheets back on what's actually available. So when we look at for example, the Soho bag, it was about us coming to the design team and saying, you want to make a bag out of denim. Here are all the shades of denim that are available. And by actually showing those shades and being able to kind of share our insights about what is available, the design team then can use that knowledge to be able to design at scale. And I think that's to the point of the conversation about collaboration and scale. It's really exciting to be able to actually articulate what is in that post-consumer supply so that the designers can design into it. And that's a real unlock moment. Because if you're, sitting in a design office in New York, it's hard for you to imagine what does 5 million pairs of jeans a month look like, which is what Bank and Vogue sorts a month. And what are the shades? What are the thicknesses? But really unlocking that knowledge between us, collaborating about what's available is really a key moment to being able to not just design one product, but be able to design a product that can be made at scale.
And Megan, what does that look like within Tapestry? Like, did you have to have huge teams on board? How was the process there?
Yeah, it definitely took time to break the mold of the linear system. I think the way that we were able to make this successful is by bringing in key players early and explaining what the journey of these post-consumer denim panels were, and getting everyone on board and giving folks time to understand that this is a new way of operating. Internally for us, it's been a really great case study since we've been able to make it work. We've been sharing that out internally with teams and kind of showing the successes of it. And now we have a template for how we can work with post-consumer materials.
And I know that you work in various different ways with different recycled materials and things like that, but bringing Bank and Vogue in, how did that help you get this project off the ground? And how did that collaboration come in?
I think the collaboration here really is highlighting that we've been doing repurposing and reimagining at scale for Coach on our own end, but this is the first time we've been able to do it with an external partner. And that has enabled even a larger scale because, we have a New Jersey workshop where we do all of our Coach Reloved upcrafting and restoring. But obviously, as Steven was saying, he's looking at 5 million jeans a month. Was that what it was, Steven? Like that is a massive scale. And being able to work with a partner that has such a history in doing this has been an unlock for us.
And great that you have this as a case study. I think you've sold out of the bag several times over, which to me sounds like a success. But what would you say the results were of this collaboration?
Yeah, great results. It sold very well. I think we also took it one step further and we partnered with Steven and his team to do a life cycle assessment on the actual denim. So cradle to gate, what is the impact of the denim? And it had fantastic results. The BVH repurposed denim's carbon footprint was up to an 80% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. And its water footprint shows that it's consuming 95% less water when comparing to conventional first-use denim. So not only did we get to work together to make a beautiful product, something that is sold well, but also we were able to work together to get more data on that product.
And it's a really lovely product. And I think we've not mentioned that Jennifer Lopez was the face of the product as well.
Absolutely. Great photo with J-Lo holding the bag that I know was one of Steven's favorites.
Steven, what would you say your biggest learnings from this collaboration have been?
I think that, a real learnings is that we operate in a space, in the secondhand clothing space, which is really quite siloed. And it's been really fantastic to go to 10 Hudson Yard, to sit with, the likes of Stuart Vevers and be inspired that there is real common view that this is possible at scale, and that we did it. That's really one of the views, the real learnings for us, and that true collaboration is really possible. It's a word that's thrown out a lot, but having really strong vision from Stuart and frankly from the coach team who wanted to just figure it out, I think was really a learnings for us. I think it was, I use this analogy a lot that, it's one thing to go and play tennis in your local tennis court, in your community court, but you get to work with somebody like a Tapestry. You're all of a sudden stepping onto the field of Wimbledon, and you up your game. And it really is for us a proof that we have a belief that a low carbon manufacturing future, part of that landscape is used. And we, for 25 years, have been championing reuse and repair. Now this remanufacturing has been proven at scale. And I think one of the highlights of 2024 for Bank and Vogue, but me personally, was getting that text message from Stuart saying the bag sold out. It's not just that we made a product that has really great lower emissions in carbon and really lower in water, but being part of a product that was insanely commercially successful, that's really the victory here.
So it sounds like you've both had a really great experience from this. Is this it? Is there more to come? Megan, what can you tell us?
The partnership continues. Stay tuned.
And what about Bank and Vogue? I know you've got lots of other clients sort of working on other sort of slightly similar projects. Steven, what can you tell us?
Yeah, similar but very different. And obviously, for 25 years, we've championed that use can be the landscape, part of the landscape of fashion. And we're just really, really proud that this is one more element of that landscape of fashion. And I feel as if this should really inspire other designers, other brands to really break the mold about how they're doing what they're doing. I think this Soho bag should be held up as an element that this is possible at scale.
Yeah, I think scaling is a really great takeaway from this, is to show you've collaborated as two long existing brands who've both worked in the space for a long time, but the things that you can achieve when you work together is really inspiring. So thank you very much for joining us today, Steven and Megan. Thanks so much for your time. And thank you for listening to the show. Thanks to Steven and Megan for joining us today. And thank you to you for listening. If you enjoyed it, then please leave a review or a comment, or share it with your friends and colleagues. We'll see you again next time. Bye.